Hi everybody, hi beautiful souls, living souls, angels, star seeds. I am inspired to share this with you. This beautiful lesson, this beautiful remembering and wisdom that I received. So my Ukrainian grandmother, she died today, meaning she started living today. She transformed back into a state where she can just be. I had an experience yesterday and it was very deep. And usually I feel when someone is gonna pass on or gonna be born as well. This time I rose up yesterday at like 5:30 a.m. and then I started writing into my book, and I just felt like God, the goddess, was writing through me. And what I wrote down was, what I was channeling, that the source, which is in all of us, we are all God, goddess, divine, we are all source. We have a soul. That soul is part of that. Okay? This is very important to understand, because this is going to be part of the whole realization and the enlightenment that I will explain to you right now. So I wrote down, as your mentor, you're doing great. You know, I'm not going to go into detail, but this is kind of roughly a little part of what the whole 2-page letter was saying. That as your mentor, I'm very proud and blessed to be your mentor by your side. I'm always looking over you. Yet you are doing so good that I feel like you don't need me anymore. So I came to say goodbye. And I was confused for a minute, because I'm like, God can't say goodbye, you know? And then I asked the source, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, are you just gonna leave me? And then it was like, I'm always gonna be here next to you, and the closest I have been is in your heart. And I start thinking about all these people that I'm like, wait, is someone gonna die? Like, it was just a whole, I'm like, who is this? Is this source? Is this, I had to think about an ex-boyfriend of mine that was a very painful spiritual experience for me back then. I thought about, I'm like, who is this writing? Who is telling me this? And then I went through this whole process of like, almost like a mourning. My husband, Anthony, then came over, and I started to dance, not in the rising. This was like later on in the day. I started to dance. I'm like, I don't feel good. My heart hurts. This emotion, someone's feeling sad. Is it my sadness? Is it someone else's sadness? I start to dance, and I start to just hug myself and feel my body, feel myself. And I start to feel a presence of a being. And my mind started to think about all these different people of that spirit, like, who could this be? And mind you, the letter said, I feel like you don't need me anymore, so I came to say goodbye. My husband comes in, and I start crying, and I'm dancing with him while I'm crying, like passionately, like in a very beautiful way. What happened is that I hugged him, and I start crying, and I almost felt like, at the same time, imagine like feeling things at the same time, everything, everywhere, all at once, basically, like that movie. I started feeling, and I explained to him, baby, I feel things at the same time. I feel like I'm saying goodbye to an old version of me. She's going, she's gone, she's dying. And I'm saying goodbye spiritually to that ex-boyfriend of mine, and he's saying, I'm going because I left you with this wonderful man. You have this wonderful man in your life. You're not alone. And at the same time, I'm feeling like this fear of, oh my God, am I saying goodbye to my actual husband? are our souls parting or something like this? And at the same time, 2 days ago, or 1 day ago, before that, today, 2 days ago, I thought about my other grandmother, OG Cortez, the one that I'm very connected to, and like she's my mom, sort of, you know what I mean? And I started thinking about her, and I'm like crying, thinking about our memories, and I'm like, oh my god, is she dying right now? Oh my god, she's going. And then I heard someone telling me goodbye, and I'm like, oh my god, and I called her, and I'm like, she's like, okay, she's alive. And so 1 day later, I had this experience that was yesterday. I know, crazy how I'm explaining this. And so today I realized, oh, she passed on, my Ukrainian grandmother, that I wasn't really, I was, obviously our souls were connected, but physically, the older I got, the less connected I was to her. And so I realized today that, wow, God. Okay, God is in all of us. What is God? It's our soul. The fact that God told me, right, my soul, it doesn't matter if someone that we physically don't know dies on this plane, it is part of us. We all have a soul. Most of us have a soul. We all have it. And when someone dies, that is part of us. The soul lives on, the energy lives on, but the physical manifestation of that soul, you know, disappears for good. And the fact that the soul, the God that is part of me, my grandma, that manifestation, that physical manifestation told me, I see you don't need me anymore. It was all a plan. Because if I would have needed her, I would think about her. I would have thought about her. I would have been like, oh my God, is that the grandma that is gonna die? But guess what? I didn't even think about her. And that was the whole plan from the beginning. The plan was that the soul is gonna tell me, I'm saying goodbye. So she said goodbye to me, like, you don't need me in this physical form anymore. I'm going. Goodbye. And I thought about all these possibilities and all these people except her. And it was beautifully planned because it was like a confirmation. See, you don't need me anymore. And that's what makes it easier for me today as well, because of this divine plan. I hope you understand what I meant with that by her saying you don't need me anymore, of the physical manifestation of the soul passing on and we are all one. Back then when my grandfather died, I could feel him dying. I knew he was gonna die. So I prepared myself. It was a different lesson. But every soul is a lesson for you in your life. And my grandmother's soul, which is part of me, like, we're literally all one. We're all one, like, literally. I really want to share this with all of you beautiful souls, because I know you are a part of me. I am a part of all of you. We're all one. And that's just a beautiful reminder and a way of a confirmation of God, of my love, which is my soul. Love is God. Confirming that, yes, we're literally all one. And always remember, every single day, remember that if certain people die, their physical manifestation dies, but not their soul. And their soul passes on, which is part of us. That's why it sometimes also can hurt, because it's like, oh, okay, the soul is still here. We have it in here. We have it in our hearts. It's not gone. We have it here because we're the same on a soul level. But the physical manifestation is gone, and you don't need this person anymore, or that person is here to teach you a lesson. If it passes on sooner, the physical manifestation might pass on as a child. and then the parents have to mourn. But that is here for a great lesson, and you have a soul contract with everyone, with every single human you meet, every single soul. You have a soul contract, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of love, of true love. True infinite love is being able to accept and to realize and to understand and to remember every single day that when you look at your spouse, when you look at your children, when you look at a stranger, you're looking at yourself. Just because that person looks different, has a different hobby or occupation, doesn't mean that that is not you. Because on a foundation level, that is who you are. And that is why we're just experiencing each other. You're experiencing yourself. Source said, I want to experience myself. So Source, us, we keep creating these individual humans so we can experience ourselves and become better. When we look at a stranger and something just triggers us about that stranger is just showing you what you need to work on, and you're showing them what they need to work on. So on a soul level, on the full scale, Source is just becoming better because we're learning. The void and the light, it's learning and it's becoming more beautiful every single day. That is why the consciousness is also heightening and completely transforming into this beautiful, beautiful space that holds creative matter, that holds wisdom. Wisdom is transformation. Wise wisdom transformation, because when you are wise, it is time for you to transform. Wisdom comes from being able to accept the growth and the challenges, knowing how to do it and how to get there, and just doing it, not being afraid of it. And even if you are afraid of something, do it. You have to overcome fear with love to get to love, and that can be a challenging little path, but it's necessary. Just a reminder that when you meet people, you're just meeting yourself. I keep honoring people, and it feels good. Even if they're mean to me, I honor you. Truly, because I know that when I honor you, I'm just honoring myself. And it's not a selfish thing, because I know that you and I come from the same source. So what I'm doing for Source, what I'm doing for me, I'm doing for you. When I'm honoring you, I'm honoring myself. And through honoring myself, I'm honoring you. So that is why when people say, I want to save the world, I want to heal the world, save yourself, save the world, heal yourself. Heal the world. I love you guys. I love you guys so, so much. Put your ego aside. That's powerful. That's true power. When you can't put your ego aside, it sucks. You feel powerless. It doesn't feel good either. So, also, by the way, when you want someone to apologize to you, you're like, I'm not going to talk to that person until they apologize. Or you're getting angry and frustrated about something and that person still hasn't apologized. You know, you're suffering the most. Because in the end of the day, you are them and they are you. And if you can say, that person doesn't need to apologize to me, I love them. And I truly wish love for them too. Because if I don't, I'm just wishing the bad stuff upon me too, right? And when you can say, I don't need this person's apology, and when you can even, after a conflict, go to that person and say, I am sorry for this and this and that, baby, you've reached that level where you can just live. You've reached the level where that wisdom. You've reached the wisdom part, and you're truly reaching true love. And I wish that for everyone, because it's the most powerful thing you can do. The most powerful thing that you can do is usually taught to fear, and for good reason. Because if you are filled with love, filled with power, there will be no fear. And fear loves to feed off of that. So yeah, we could go so much deeper, but I'll get more into those topics in another video. I love you so much, and I honor you so much. Everyone that is watching this, I honor you.